it is a pleasure to welcome to the program someone who we have been getting like extensive harassment from our audience for it feels like years to have on the program. RM Brown. RM, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's targeted harassment. That's how I refer to it. So
it is. Well, it's been very successful. Now, to be fair to us, Bradley's been trying to get you on the show for what feels like almost a year, and you have been ignoring him.
Wow.
That's called big timing.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a Hollywood show business tactic. You kind of gotta, show how cool you are. So I've been doing that to try to make you guys, really like, oh, we got to get him now. So it worked. Can we admit that at least?
It worked. I mean, and I think people are, you're putting off those vibes still, even now, even. It's intimidating. The green screen is really what's doing it.
And it's not working. It's not working. It's not supposed to be green. God damn it. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I was saying in the break. Like, you realize what's going to happen with that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you've been in this business long enough where you can't come on with an empty green screen and you're going to be in big trouble.
I was going to mimic your guys' background with the tiles, but this, what a disaster already.
Did you not know that it wasn't working? Or did you think it was? Or
no, I'm lying. I know it's a green screen. It's supposed to be.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with this. What does RM stand for?
It's just my name. My first name is Ryan, and then M is my middle initial, and that's it. That's pretty much it. There's not much of an interesting story to that one, so I apologize to that.
Oh, all right. Yeah, well, that's not nearly as interesting as we thought we were led to believe. We thought it was like going to be a big mystery.
How you led yourself to believe, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but was I the only one who was led to believe that?
Well, hey, on the bright side, oh, there it is.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, wow, there it is.
I mean, you guys missed it, but you guys were in the background. Matt, you were on camera. I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh, we were?
Yes,
Oh,
you were the green screen background.
I was looking at the wrong
That's
place.
the clubhouse feel.
They could put anything back there, right? So they could get me canceled, right?
Yeah.
They,
You could put the RNC convention sort of backdrop on.
Yeah.
Or worse things.
Yeah, put worse things. Why not?
Yeah.
And so, all right. So where did you come from, RM? Like what? Like I mean, you could tell us like geographically or psychographically or in any way.
Well, I started a YouTube channel in like during the pandemic. The algorithm picked it up in like late 2020, and yeah, I just kind of got started. Really, honestly, I think part of it is how I got in the algorithm was making fun of Tim Pool, who I know you have some experience with, but for some reason, some Tim Pool videos where I was just kind of making fun of him got a lot of traction, and then I think the algorithm figured out who to show it to, and I think that's how I started getting a little audience. And yeah, but very inspired by the Majority Report. I've been following you forever. I mean, from the AM radio days. So yeah.
And you're down in are you in Texas?
I'm in Austin. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the Austin scene. Is Joe Rogan now your new neighbor or something like that?
Yeah. Well, Joe Rogan is the new he just kind of moved in, and we consider him the sort of mayor kind of now. He weird. This is a weird thing, not to call him out. Okay. I don't want to get into that stuff. But
that's not the you don't traffic in that kind of thing.
No, I don't traffic in that kind of crap. But he has not had any local Austin comedians on his show yet, I don't think, which is sort of like you come into a town, you might want to get some of the locals on, right? But he hasn't done it. So Joe, this is kind of why I came on the show today. Joe, get some local comedians on. Damn you, Joe. Come on.
What's interesting is, I mean, Austin is where is not Austin where no, well, I know South by Southwest is there, but where Alex Jones started.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, when I moved here a long time ago, and one of the big Infowars was one of the big employers. I mean, my main thing is video editing, and I had it was one of the places where you could actually make a decent living. as a, entry level position video editor. So a lot of people, I've kind of known a lot of people who actually work for Infowars. And I think I actually applied at one point to try to be a video editor there. And it would have been great. It would have been great.
It would have been great for now. Like, we would have been able to mine you for content.
No, taking the job too. They just never contacted me. I didn't make it past the application phase.
They probably just, you didn't meet the lizard person criteria or something like that.
Yeah, I think I didn't. I put in the application that I'm not into, snake oil supplements. So I shouldn't have put that.
That's a big mistake. And so, how do you know the songs to that Lee Greenwood song? How do you know the words to that Lee Greenwood song? I was watching you cover Trump's what is it? His press conference, I guess, or whatever, his announcement. And you seem really.
Well, it's a beautiful song, right? I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful song, and it's I don't know, it's I don't want to say moving, but it is moving. It's kind of a touching song. Actually, can I say something really quick? Sorry, just to change gears really quick.
You can do it in any way you want. That's what
you can say it really slowly too.
I was listening to the Digby interview. I love her, by the way. I think I always get something out of those interviews. But I wanted to mention the Nancy Pelosi thing. I think there's a thing you guys didn't touch on, which is, I don't know, it's sort of sad to see her step down. And I think what people don't really mention, don't really consider, is the kneeling with the kente cloth thing. Do you guys remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Right. We've all tried to make sure that image is not in our minds at the forefront. We've repressed it. Yes.
I've seen car accident scenes that I'm willing to remember more than that.
Well, I think, it's funny you say that, because I think one thing that we can say that she did for us, for people like me especially, is that really meant a lot to people in the publicly embarrassing themselves community, which I'm a part of. I've been doing that for a while, and I feel like we should not forget that.
Representation
solidarity
matters.
With people.
Representation matters. Right.
Yeah, we don't talk about that enough.
Solidarity with people who step on a rake on national television, essentially.
You pull those, like, I've heard, R.M. Brown, that you pull certain moments from people's speech, and you have a soundboard of sorts.
This is where Emma,
it's my villain turn, but I'm included in this. Is what the tweeters have told me.
Yeah. Actually, at least, I have a little soundboard to try to make it a drive time radio type show that I, have samples of, Alex Jones.
Sam's
and all
gonna
this.
cry.
We could have maybe a little competition.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But at least once or twice a week, people send me timestamps of either Sam or Emma saying something completely out of context. It's usually something that could be interpreted in some horrible way. And it's at least once or twice a week I get one, and they're like, add this to the soundboard. But I think the Emma one, you're saying wipe your ass with them. I don't even remember what you're referring to.
Good.
But
my parents are very proud of me.
Yeah. But it works for so many things.
Hey, just getting some breaking news. Speaking of soundboard, make sure we confirm this, but it looks like Lauren Boebert is one that Matt Frisch conceded.
Yeah.
In the 3rd district. I mean, that was, there was a couple of seats where there was no sense, or at least the conventional wisdom that certain candidates didn't have an opportunity to win. And so there was no funding, no support that was given it. That was a race that obviously, with a little bit of more support,
that wasn't even on my radar.
Nope, not at all. And there's a couple other seats like that, I feel like, that have popped up. But all right, forgive that. The use of the soundboard
No, no,
conversation was too important, and I couldn't help myself.
No, that's a true queen has regained her throne.
Yes,
thank God. Do you guys have like an applause?
I wonder if Marjorie Taylor Greene is bummed about that. Oh. I wonder if she's bummed.
Yeah, because she doesn't get to be the queen bee.
She's still the queen bee, but she's, like, you don't want anybody else out there taking away attention. And if honestly, I mean, don't you get the sense that they're
competing for that kind of vibe?
I mean, yeah, right. You can't be watching Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene at the same time. You need to either watch one or the other, and so they're at each other's expense.
Yeah, it waters it down. I think I'm more of an MTG guy. Lauren Boebert, she's sort of it's like when MTG's not around, you go Boebert. So it kind of waters the whole thing down.
I missed this from April 29th of this year. Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene got into such a heated confrontation that another lawmaker had to step in to intervene.
Is that right?
This is
cat fight.
I can say Insider. Yeah, Emma can say that. Representative Lauren Boebert privately dislikes being associated with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, now she's not associated with her in Congress.
Well, isn't that interesting though? That sorry to cut you off, Matt, but like the squad, they try to behave as a unit, and like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert just don't seem to have any. Yeah,
I never saw this coming, but the two Republicans recently got into this as recently as of April, got into a heated exchange over Greene's attendance at a white nationalist event. The Politico report examines splits within the House Freedom Caucus, a conservative. So that's Politico. So who knows?
So wait a second. So Boebert,
Boebert was upset that Marjorie Taylor Greene did like the Fuentes crap. I think. I'm shocked that Boebert.
Well, but you're assuming that she wanted her not to attend.
Yeah,
and maybe she
is it that she wasn't invited?
She left early,
or like she didn't invite Boebert to come with her. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, was that she was not the +1? That was the.
Somebody got bumped because Marjorie Taylor Greene went over on her time, and Boebert didn't get Didn't you see the freaking light?
Hey, give me a spot. Give me a spot on that Nick Fuentes thing.
What
you could do a couple minutes.
So you had some success with Tim Pool. Give me a sense of what it is you think what is his allure, but what is it that people like in terms of I don't know in parsing who Tim Pool is.
Oh, man, it's baffling. It's really baffling. I mean, when I started the channel, I was sort of because I didn't watch a lot. I was aware of Ben Shapiro and his brand and kind of aware of Tim Pool, but I wasn't really aware what they really do day to day. And it's shocking. It's shocking that people watch that stuff. Honestly, and Tim Pool is one of the most baffling ones. I cannot wrap my head around what people get out of that.
Do you watch on a regular basis? Do you watch him on a regular basis? You'll watch full shows? Because we, at this point, I don't have the time, but I also don't know that I have the mental constitution.
Oh,
really?
God.
But you're young. You have resiliency. You still have neuroplasticity in your brain. And so you watch, will you sit down and watch a full Tim Pool show?
I've done it. I've done it multiple times. I've done it.
You speed it up?
I speed it up. Okay,
right.
Yeah. There's no way that you can't speed. Are people watching that at 1x? Oh my God! Could you imagine? Jeez. But yeah, it's just one example off the top of my head. The last video that I did, he was he was talking about the student debt thing. And when that came out, he was like, "This is going to ruin the economy." He was saying all the things that Republicans are saying about the student debt. It's going to ruin the economy. It's unfair. Then now he gets back on video, when they were when it got blocked, basically, And he gets on his camera and he's like, I knew this was going to happen the whole time. I knew they were going to buy. I knew this was never going to go. Like, it's that kind of thing. It's just like, how does he get away? It's honestly like, how does he get away with it is
Right.
what it is. You know what I mean?
We have the same thing with, let's do this. Let's play this, Dave Rubin. Do we have that? Do we grab that Dave Rubin clip?
Great. Oh, great.
So we played a clip of Dave Rubin yesterday with all of his absolutely wrong, like honestly,
that.
like,
Yep.
it would be hard to sort of say, like, I'm going to try and I'm going to bet somebody that I can't get it wrong in every instance. And he came up with it wrong. He was wrong in every instance. And here's another clip where now he's like, almost like, in a way, and to be fair, this is clipped together from, his entire show.
Dave Rubin clips on Twitter.
Dave Rubin clips on what used to be called Twitter. And but here is Dave Rubin now sort of like processing how wrong he was. But if you catch this, he's sort of slightly blaming some conventional narrative that set him astray. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Yes, without question, the massive red wave that so many predicted did not happen. I kept saying all along, while I think it is going to happen, you never know what is going to happen, and you cannot count your chickens before they hatch. And clearly there was some chickens being counted before they were hatched by the mainstream punditry.
And you.
Pause it for a second. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. He had not only counted chickens, he had built specific, like, separate coops for each one of those chickens.
He was in DC. I think maybe I don't know if it's in this clip, but elsewhere in the show, he admits that he's in DC. It was expecting like a triumphant atmosphere of like a restoration.
He not only got coops for those chickens, he sold the eggs.
Yes.
That those chickens were supposed to lay. Like 6 months out. Like, he had already supplied different supermarkets around the country with all the eggs.
Got some egg futures you can buy.
Yes, I've counted them. I've divided them. I've actually sold off securities based upon them. I have sold options on the eggs. I've sold futures on the chickens. I have named the chickens, and in fact, I have actually dedicated part of my backyard to the chicken coops for these chickens.
He pan-seared those chickens.
I've already heated up all the pans. I've greased other things. I've got different menus. I've got all the this guy, continue. This is awesome.
All along, while I think it is going to happen, you never know what is going to happen, and you cannot count your chickens before they hatch. And clearly there was some chickens being counted before they were hatched by the mainstream punditry. The Pennsylvania situation, obviously, first off, their voting situation is very bizarre. They had a ton of early mail-in ballots. Look, it makes all the sense in the world that Oz would have won, but he didn't, and it was, about a 5-point differential, which Pennsylvania, man, like, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe we just have to accept that 40%, I mean, I was sort of pulling that number out of thin air, but that X amount of people are always going to vote Democrat no matter what.
Pause it for 1 second. This is quite an understanding of American politics that Dave Rubin has stumbled onto, that 40% of people are going to vote for Democrats. There has not been a presidential election in 50 years where 40% of the public did not vote for the Democrat. Like, I mean, it's just like, he has not been alive when a national Democrat has gotten less than 40% of the vote. He's just not been alive since then. I think the last one was like maybe McGovern. I don't know. In Mondale, probably still got over 40% of the vote. It really is. It is amazing that this guy can actually like dress himself in the morning.
Do you find it funny that they never really talked about Dr. Oz that much either? It was all about how bad Fetterman was because he had a temporary disability. Did you notice that? That it was not, they weren't like, oh, Oz is awesome. Like, most of them that I watched just didn't talk it. They were just like, they were basically just like, hey, this guy sucks. Let's not talk about him. Let's just talk about how bad this other guy is.
I think that was a function of Fetterman defining Oz very early on, and it became a lost cause. Like you couldn't. And then the crudité moment, crudité gate, that was crudegate, was just really sunk him. But let's listen more to Dave Rubin.
Yes.
Just struggle with this. First off, very bizarre. All of these people voting early and mailing them in. So bizarre.
A certain amount of people are brainwashed. The other thing that sits behind all of this is that this young generation now, unless we can red pill them really fast, they're being born in a world where they accept government mandates, where they accept putting masks on and when they can go to school and when they can, and being online all the time and being given all this stuff. That's not a great indicator of future freedom, right?
I mean, it is weird how this generation, it's like, accept these things that from this once in a lifetime pandemic. Let me ask you this. What's future freedom?
Future freedom. Oh my God. I think it's a concept that people like me and you can't, these are what he calls high level ideas. And it's sort of like, it's like a tone we can't hear. Basically, it's only for high level people, and we're just not in that community. So we got to kind of just live in this sort of lower consciousness, I think is what it is. That's how I would refer to it as.
When you mock all these people, what is your agenda? Do you have like a mission statement for your show?
No, like honestly, I don't say this to blow smoke, but when I was younger, when I was in college, I was, late teens, early 20s. There was none of this stuff, right? Like back then when you and Janine were doing AM radio, there was not, I mean, you could read a Chomsky book or whatever, but there was not a lot of this, And so, I mean, my agenda, I guess, is just that it seems like it's great that everybody can, respond to this stuff. Because when I was, younger, it just didn't exist except for you and Janine Garofalo, and me and a lot of my friends really clung to that, because there was not a lot of it. So I don't know. I feel lucky to be able to respond to this stuff and upload it. And that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. Thank you. That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice of you to point out. That's really makes our telling you that we're filing copyright notices against you that much more uncomfortable.
Awkward.
Aaron is not cool on our IM says, where are your glasses?
I don't know. I didn't want to wear glasses. I don't know. It seems I already big timed enough on the in the.
You felt like if you came on with the sunglasses, it would be a little bit of a.
Right. You're You're too, you want us to be able to relate to you, right? You don't want to be so cool that it's just like difficult for us to have a conversation.
Yeah, that's the thing about coolness is that you want it to be a little bit attainable. If somebody has glasses on, it's too cool.
Yeah, believe me, I know what you're saying. RM, your stuff is very funny. I kept listening over and over again to your on the last video you did about the Lee Greenwood, just because I hadn't seen the full conference and I didn't know he was going up to that. Which is, we should say that's Sean Hannity. That's the Sean Hannity influence. Like Lee Greenwood was Sean Hannity's thing, and God, that was that was like a post 9/11.
Yeah, it has that vibe. It has that post 9/11.
We'll put a boot in your ass, and just oh my God.
American flag sticker on the car kind of vibe to it.
Yeah,
never forget kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely.
But thanks for coming on, folks. Where you're on YouTube? Where else do you? I assume?
I'm on YouTube. It's RM Brown. I was on Twitter, but I think that's not going to happen anymore.
I think there's a real reason to believe that Twitter's not going to be functioning. We're going to get it. We're going to get a Twitter break, and it's probably
Right.
going to exist for like a couple of days.
Yeah.
Then maybe it comes back on, and it's sort of like it's going to be like what Twitter, like what the internet's going to feel like, it, maybe during like a climate crisis type of thing, where like, oh, well, the power is out and the servers have crashed because of the heat, and sometimes Twitter works and sometimes it doesn't. It's going to be that type of thing.
It's like the power here in Texas. It'll be like that.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, I love it. Beautiful.
And all right, so folks, we'll put a link to your channel. But Aaron Brown, real pleasure. Glad we finally made this happen. I hope to do it again soon.
Love you guys. I watch the show every day, and thanks so much for having me.
Hi, this video is sponsored by Kamikoto Knives. These are amazing Japanese steel knives. They are made using traditional techniques. Each knife is individually inspected and comes with a lifetime guarantee. The knives come in this beautiful heavy-duty ash box, wood box, which makes a great present, obviously. The knives are used by Michelin star chefs all over the world. They have a single blade bevel, so they can get incredibly sharp. There's all sorts of different knives and cuts. Yeah, I know these things are amazing. If you're a part-time chef, or you take your knife works seriously, these knives are for you. Kamikoto is now running a Black Friday sale and offering my viewers an extra US $50 off on any purchase with the discount code MAJORITY. On top of other special offers, go to kamikoto.com/majority. That's kamikoto.com/majority to get your knife set and help support our channel.